Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. This is Living in Columbus, Ohio, and today I've got another amazing episode for you guys as we're gonna talk about the top 10 things that you need to know when living in Columbus. What's up everyone? If this is your first time to the channel, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you guys could please tap on that subscribe button below and click on the bell and give us a like, that would be a huge help as it'll help everyone who's looking to maybe relocate or learn more about the Columbus, Ohio area. It'll give them a notification every time we drop one of these videos. And in these videos, we talk about everything that you need to know about working, eating, living, playing, breathing, everything that you can imagine about the Columbus metro surrounding areas. I am also a licensed real estate agent in the state of Ohio, and as much as I love doing these videos for you guys, I would love nothing more to help you with your real estate needs. So if you're relocating here, if you're moving, if you already live here, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text message, fire off an email, whatever you gotta do, make sure you do it because I'm gonna be the guy that has your back and you're looking for some real estate in the Columbus metro or surrounding areas. First thing that you need to know about Columbus, Ohio is when we're talking about these videos, a lot of times I'll say the Columbus metro or surrounding areas, or I will say Central Ohio. So there's a map that's gonna come up on the scene. You can see where downtown Columbus is. So, we'll call it the metro. And then you'll see this circle around the downtown area. It's a highway called 270. That should be highlighted so you guys can kind of see that. And then you'll see everything outside of that. So when I say Columbus metro or the downtown area, surrounding areas, all the suburbs that make up Central Ohio. So we cover a lot of things with Dublin, New Albany, Powell, Hilliard, Gahanna, Pickerington, all these places that you can see on the map. It kind of makes up the surrounding areas or Central Ohio. So when you move here, if somebody says, oh, welcome to Central Ohio, or, this is how big Central Ohio is, you'll have kind of an idea of what they're talking about. And a lot of times people who are talking to people that don't live here will say, I'm from Columbus. Well, that means, hey, I live in Dublin, or I live in Westerville, or Galena, or Delaware, but Columbus is the home base. That's why a lot of people just say, hey, I'm from Columbus. Another thing to think about too is, when you're thinking about relocating here, you might want to check out the surrounding areas. So these videos, a lot of times we talk about Columbus, but then we mix in, tidbits on the surrounding areas. And we're also doing a ton of videos on, the suburbs, which make up Central Ohio and the surrounding areas that I often mention. Something you should know. It's pretty easy. Don't overthink it. If you have questions, drop them below in the comments. The second thing that you should know about living in Columbus, Ohio is that, believe it or not, you are within a 10-hour drive to 45% of the country's population. Mind-blowing, right? Like, incredible. I knew a little bit about that, but I looked up some actual hard facts about where Columbus is located. And I mean, it's amazing how close we are to New York, Washington, DC, Nashville, Chicago, Philly. I mean, you're 10 hours, that'll get you into the Outer Banks in North Carolina, or, up to Wisconsin or out to Kansas City. Columbus is a perfect location as far as a lot of industry and business is concerned, but also people love it because it's in the center of the state, 2 hours from Cleveland, 2 hours from Cincinnati. And then you want to take these long weekend trips, you can get to Nashville in 5 hours, Chicago in 5, Detroit in 3. It's an amazing city as far as being able to get places, which I think is really cool. Another fun fact about being, within 45% of the country's population is that equals almost 150 million people. Think about the reach if you own a business, whether it's a small business or you're a mega corporation, and how easy it is to reach a customer base. If you're in real estate like me, we deal with people moving here all the time, and a lot of them are coming from these areas that to us aren't that far away. We can get in the car and drive, or it's an hour flight. So people coming in all the time to see houses. So it's a really unique city. It's really uniquely positioned as well in the country. So fun fact about Columbus. Item number 3 that I want to talk about is our airport. A lot of people want to know how easy is it to travel in and out of Columbus? Is the airport a pain in the butt to park and get to, and all these things? If you look on the map that just came up on the screen, you're going to see that the airport is on the east side of Columbus. In my experience, if you live downtown, 10 minutes to the airport, 15 with some traffic. If you live in Dublin, which is, you know, the northwest corner of Columbus or Central Ohio, maybe a half hour. So it's not that difficult to get to. Once you're at the airport, depending on if you're getting dropped off or not, you know, you could literally have TSA pre-check and walk in 30 minutes prior to your flight and not have to worry or stress about, am I late? Do I gotta do this? Do I gotta do that? Do I have to wait in line? If you don't have pre-check, you know, get there maybe an hour early, but airport in Columbus is so easy to get in and out of. Also, if you are in business, if you love to travel, you can expect right around 150 plus flights a day leaving Columbus. So that's pretty solid. We don't have a lot of direct flights, which maybe for some people is a little bit of a bummer. You know, have flown to Atlanta and had to, you know, have a layover in Charlotte. Just depends on the airline, just depends on the day. If you're used to flying, you understand those things. But the airport is growing. There's a lot of projects that are going out there for better parking, more rental cars. I'm sure at some point they're gonna have to keep adding terminals to the airport, because as Columbus grows and all the things that are happening here, you know, the airport will get more congested, so we'll have to expand that as well. So if you didn't know that about Columbus, airport, super simple to get through. Another benefit of living in a big city, but small at the same time. Number 4 on our top 10 things that you should know about living in Columbus is the outdoor lifestyle does exist, but it's gonna be different than maybe you're used to. So as you guys know, Columbus has all 4 seasons. When you think about an outdoor lifestyle in the summer, you can have a pool. It's gonna be hot. You can swim. You can do all these things, you know, wear shorts. You can go on hikes. You can bike. You can run. Sporting events. Like behind me right now, this is the Clipper Stadium, downtown Columbus. Do all these things, so you've got that. Now in the spring, it's a little bit gloomy. The weather is gonna have some rain, so probably not gonna do much there. The fall is perfect for camping. You go hiking down in Hocking Hills, which is just southeast of Columbus. People still mountain bike, they road bike. You've got kayaks that are in the rivers. The lakes are still open and people are out on their boats. So again, you got kind of that outdoor lifestyle. As far as in the winter time, you know, we don't have mountains that you can go skiing. We have what I'm gonna call as hills. So you've got some local, you know, kind of mini ski resorts that unfortunately we don't get a ton of snow. So they make snow. You can go ski or snowboard. Some of those areas have tubing for kids. I know that growing up, we had snowmobiles, so when we did get some good snow, we could do that. So that's kind of gonna be the lifestyle in the winter time. You know, we don't have epic mountains or snow trails to kind of go on. It's not really our thing here. All these things might be different than what you're used to, but we have our kind of own outdoor lifestyle for all these different seasons. And it might just take you getting used to making some changes, or maybe there are even things that you weren't able to do where you live that now you can do more of, or even less. So if you're used to having a pool and using it 6 to 10 months out of the year, you know, here you're getting 3 or 4. So that might be something different, but outdoor lifestyle does exist. Something to think about, something to know. The people, the people, the people. We have, I feel like, some wonderful people here in the Central Ohio area. This is a Midwest city, state, Midwest values. People generally are very kind, they're friendly, they're neighborly. If you are not from here, if you do not know anybody here, when you relocate, in my opinion, you will be able to adapt and find friends quickly. That was my experience based on where I lived in different parts of downtown Columbus all the way out to the suburbs now. Been a very easy adjustment to meet people and, you know, be neighborly with people. People that are from here generally come back or they stay. But we have a ton of transplants as well, because Ohio State is one of the largest universities in the country. So we attract a lot of people from all over the United States, and they end up staying here because of the industry that is provided to them after college. So we do get a lot of transplants. And also now with all these new businesses that have been coming into Columbus, and tech, healthcare, Intel's coming with manufacturing, we are going to probably have a lot more people that are not from here move here. My experience with my clients and success stories that I hear is people are very friendly. They have had no problem making new friends and getting involved in the community. I think that we're an A+ for people. Another thing that you should know before you move here is kind of what the utility scene is gonna look like. Now, there are certain parts of the country where maybe you can like bid on your electric or gas prices. Yes, you have some restraints as far as your water usage is concerned. Those things, from what my knowledge is, does not exist here. So when you're talking about like your electric and gas companies, the main ones are gonna be like AEP, Columbia Gas, and you don't have to bid on things or shop around your electric or gas. Again, I'm aware of, you can get on plans such as like a usage plan where it gives you like a base price instead of things kind of fluctuating throughout the different seasons. Now that base price might be a little higher than what your average is, but it kind of gives you what a flat bill will be. As far as your water bill, you have free reign to pretty much do whatever you want. So if you want to put in an irrigation system to make sure that your plants are looking nice, your grass is looking green, you can do that. If you want to run that water system 5 times a day to make sure everything's looking very green and beautiful, you can do that. So something to think about with utilities. Maybe you're used to that, maybe you're not. Big cable or internet providers here, Spectrum's really big, AT&T, Verizon. It's really going to depend on where you're located at. Things that are offered downtown might not be offered in, let's say, New Albany or Dublin or Powell, right? It's really just going to be different. In some municipalities, they might have their own water, and it might not be the city of Columbus, or their own trash. It might not be Columbus, city waste. It might be Rumpke, for instance. That's something that I pay for. There are people that pick up the trash and recycle in our neighborhood. So all those things are going to be a little different depending on where you live. Our utilities, I don't think they're as complicated as other cities that I've researched or heard about. So maybe that's a little bit easier for you. Maybe this is gonna be the norm, but definitely wanted you guys to know kind of what you're gonna expect before moving here. The chances are, if you're watching this video, more than likely you're thinking about making a move to Columbus. So this topic is gonna be around newcomers and what is it like for people being new here. I talked a little bit about it earlier when we talked about the people. We'll kind of go over it again. If you are new to the area, I believe that you are gonna make friends fast, especially if you're an outgoing person, if you're involved in work or you get involved in the community, you're gonna make friends fast. People are generally very kind and neighborly and accepting. This isn't like a cliquey city, so you don't have to really worry about that. As far as how people will treat you, like, I don't feel like people, when they find out maybe you're from Boston, are gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're from Boston. I don't like people from the Northeast, or you're from California, oh, they're just weird. And people don't think like that here, at least not to my knowledge. I'm sure there's some bad apples out there, but for the most part, you should feel that if you are gonna move here, you are gonna have a simple life. It's not really really fast paced, and people for the most part are gonna welcome you, be neighborly, and I think that'll really help you when you make that move, feel comfortable about where you're headed, and maybe take out some of that nervousness that a lot of people have when they relocate. I deal with a lot of clients that relocate from mega cities, and they're not used to maybe a more chill vibe, or people being so kind, right? So it's definitely new for everybody, but if you're a newcomer, we're gonna welcome you with open arms. All right, coming in at number 8 on the things that you should know about living in Columbus is our property taxes are really high. Talked about it before. I'm gonna keep telling everybody because it's something you should know. We have some of the highest property taxes in the country. So again, a lot of people are used to paying a lot of money for a house, but their taxes are really low. Here, home prices are gonna continue to rise, and so that's gonna be it could be a challenge for some people, but then also you have high property taxes. And those property taxes also have some variance on what area you're in. If you are in Columbus City tax area, it's gonna be a lot less than maybe in Dublin or Hilliard or New Albany or Westerville. So because the school level is different, right? Columbus City schools rank on the lower end of, let's say, a Dublin or a Hilliard. Those property taxes that you pay for, those are going towards those schools. So the tax rates are just different. So that's something definitely to consider if you're thinking about moving here. Are schools important to you? And if they are, what kind of taxes are you willing to pay? And what does that do for your payment as far as what you can afford on a home? Something to be aware of. Property taxes are really high, some of the highest in the country. So keep that in mind as you make your move here. All right, coming in at number 9 is, people always ask, like, what is Central Ohio and like what makes up Central Ohio? A lot of times on these videos, I'm gonna talk about Columbus Metro, the surrounding areas. I'll probably end up dropping like Central Ohio in there as well. And I get a lot of questions like, hey Brad, like, I get what Columbus is, but when you say Central Ohio, like, what does that mean? So to give you a little context around this, and a map will pop up, is Central Ohio is made up of actually 11 counties. And the easiest way to remember this is Columbus is dead center in the state of Ohio, And so we just make up 11 counties surrounding that. Fun facts about Central Ohio is average age is 35 years old. So we are a young city. We have a lot of younger people that are moving here because of cost of living, affordability, housing compared to some major cities. There's a lot of job opportunity. There's tons of industry here. There's a lot of tech and healthcare jobs available, and all these things keep growing. And so we get a ton of young people here. We also have a lot of colleges and universities, and a lot of those kids usually end up staying. They don't go back home, which is really cool. So that kind of like drives down the average age. Also, Central Ohio makes up about 2 million people, and that's going to continue to grow over time. We are seeing a large increase of people move here on a daily, weekly, and monthly basis. And as things such as Intel and more tech move into Columbus, you are going to see that number expand. Another thing to think about is the median household income is around $63,000. So just, you know, when you're thinking about your financial situation, like where do you fit? Do you fit more, less? Are you right in that average? And that'll kind of help then decide like how affordable Columbus is for you. So again, when I talk about Columbus, there's definitely things that I'm going to talk about that are metro specific, but a lot of times this is based on the surrounding areas and what I call Central Ohio as well. Coming in at number 10, last but not least, the schools. We've talked about this on channel a lot. Our school systems are pretty good. We have some that are ranked really high in the state, such as like Upper Arlington and New Albany. A lot of people, when they relocate here, they'll bring up a lot of times Upper Arlington, New Albany, Olentangy, Dublin school systems. Those four seem to be the ones that people, they're really conscious about education. That's where they're going to be sending their kids. Now, we also have a lot of private schools as well. So if you are looking for private schools, we have those, and there's a lot of great ones, you know, that are located here in the Columbus area. As far as sports, you know, Ohio is a big football and baseball state. As far as when a lot of college coaches are recruiting all over the country, Ohio has a lot of top talent. Pretty good in basketball as well. So those are some major things. I know girls soccer is really killer here, and girls volleyball. There's some really top programs in the Columbus area. What I just found out from a client of mine is there's some really good band programs as well at some of these schools. I'm about to have my first kid. I'm not really sure about all the different programs at all the different schools, but I know that just doing some homework and talking to a lot of my clients is we have some really good school systems located here in Central Ohio. Thinking about that, a good website is niche.com, niche.com. You can plug in something about like Columbus schools or Central Ohio schools, and it's going to give you all the rankings of teachers, curriculum, sports, you know, and it'll have reviews in there by parents, which is really cool. Again, if you are, you know, making that move here, education is important. Definitely do a deep dive on the different school systems. Probably can't go wrong on a lot of these, but definitely do your homework. So there you have it. Those are the top 10 things you should know about living in Columbus, Ohio. If you're thinking about making a move, make sure you give me a call, shoot me a text message, fire off an email, whatever you got to do, make sure you do it, because I'm going to have your back when it comes to all things real estate related in our wonderful city. Until next time, guys.